All right, so today you're going to be figuring out the parameter changes on the linear parent function. So if you have something on your scratch pad, go ahead and clear it while I'm reading you the instructions. And so above it says chart A. The parent function of a linear relationship is y equals x. If a coefficient is placed in front of the x, it causes the steepness or slope of the graph to be changed. Use a graphing calculator to investigate and describe the changes in steepness m has on the graph of the linear parent function y equals x. So you're going to go to your scratch pad, and what you're going to do is you're going to use the graph to be able to compare all of the following equations in the table on the front, the back, the next page, so that you can answer the questions that are on the back of the second page, and then you're going to use the same process when you begin with chart B. And so what you're going to do is in f1 of x, you're going to put the parent function, and that parent function is y equals x. So you will simply just press an x in the f1 of x, and you will press enter. It will graph your parent function. That is your original parent function. And if you read the title of the table of each column, it tells you that the first column is talking about your function. The second one, it wants you to sketch both parent function and the given function on each coordinate plane. And so you will see the parent function is going to be in the exact same spot every single time. So I should see a repeat of what you see in that first box for that first graph on every single function graph on the rest of this packet. And then it says the value of m in y equals mx. You know that is your slope, and that's going to tell you how your graph is changing in its steepness. And so in this case, in front of my x, it's an invisible 1, but my slope is 1. And so that's why that is written there in that next column. And then in your fourth column, it says up or down from left to right. How are you reading that graph? Does it have a positive slope or a negative slope? Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? So in this case, my parent function is increasing, so it is going up. Then it says, is the steepness more or less or the same as y equals x? And so, of course, it's the same because it's y equals x. And then in your second to last column, it says when x increases by 1, y increases or decreases by, what is it doing? Increasing or decreasing? And you can go to Control T and look at your table to figure out if x is increasing by 1, what is y doing? And that's what you'll write in that column. And then in the last column, you will use your table to scroll up and find when x is 0, what is y? And that's how you'll find your y-intercept for the last column. So when you get ready to graph your next function, all you have to do to clear out your table is press Control T so that you can exit out of that. And you can either press Control G, or I like to just use tab to make your function bar come up again. And so your next function is y equals negative x. So I'm going to put a negative x here. And then you will press enter so that you can analyze your graph and you can answer each one of those questions. And so you will have the parent function sketched on that graph, and then you will sketch this other line on there as well. And remember, it's sketching. I'm not checking to see if your ordered pairs fall perfectly on the line, so don't worry about that. It is a sketch. And then in your third column, what's the value of m? Well, clearly it's negative 1. It wrote it there for you. And when I look at this graph, is it going up or down? Well, it's decreasing, so I would write down in that next box. Then in my fifth column, it says, is the steepness more or less or the same as x? Well, since its value is 1 for my parent function, and even though it is a negative 1, it's still going to have the same steepness. If you slide down those lines, you are going to be going down at the same rate. You will be going down at the same speed because their steepness is the same. And then when x increases by 1, what's happening to y? Is it increasing or decreasing? So go to your Control T, pull up your table, and you're going to be looking at the values for f2. So make sure you scroll over and you're looking for f2 of x. And so when you're looking at x, as x increases by 1, what's happening to f2 of x? What do I notice? It is decreasing by 1. So make sure you write decreasing by 1. And then when I look, when x is 0, what is y? So I will scroll up to find out when x is 0, y is also 0. So that ordered pair will be 0, 0. And so you will go ahead, and if you're ready to move on to the next one, you will press Control T to exit out of your table. You will press Tab to pull up your function, but this time you will scroll up back to F2 of x, and you will just delete that last equation so that then you can put in your equation or function y equals 2x. And you will press enter and you will graph it and you will begin the process over again. And you will finish this entire packet. You have today and tomorrow to work on it. If you happen to finish it early, you need to work on your ALEKS Pi. So good luck.